Wild Talents, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 38. It has been my expression that, for instance, African thinkers achieve the harmless impalement of children by a process that would ordinarily be called imposing the imaginary upon the physical, but that is called by me imposing the imaginary physical upon the physical imaginary. I think that this is the conscious power and method of adepts. But I think that in the great majority of our stories, effects have been wrought unconsciously, so far as went active awareness, by witches and wizards. I am impressed more with an experience of my own than with any record of other doings. I looked, or stared, at a picture on the wall. Somewhere in my mind were many impressions of falling pictures. But I was not actively thinking of falling pictures. The picture fell from the wall. See back to the Blackman case, the 4 judges, who died suddenly. It was Blackman who called attention to these deaths. Why? Vanity of the magician. I think that more likely these victims were removed by a wizardry of Blackman's of which he was unconscious. I think that if a man so earnestly objected to paying alimony that, instead, he went to jail 4 times, he'd overlook his judges and take a shorter cut on behalf of his income, if he consciously reasoned about it. It would seem that visualizations have had nothing to do with many occurrences told of in this book. Still, by wild talent I mean something that comes and goes, and is under no control, but that may be caught and trained. Also there are cases that look very much like controlled uses of visualizations upon physical affairs. In this view, I have noted an aspect of doings that is a support for our expression upon transmedumization. The real, as it is called, or the objective, the external, the material, cannot be absolutely set apart from the subjective, or the imaginary. But there are quasi-attitudes of the imaginary. There have been occurrences that I think were transmedumizations, because I think that they were marked by indications of having carried over, from an imaginative origin, into physical being, or into what is called real life, the quasi-attributes of their origin.